to the August 10th, 2026 regular meeting of the Town Board of the Town of Wappinger. May Town Clerk Paoloni please call the roll.
Councilman Beal.
Here.
Councilwoman Odell.
Here.
Councilman Phillips.
Here.
Councilman Casella.
Here.
And Supervisor Cavasin.
Here. Thank you, folks. You know, it feels like we haven't seen each other in forever since our summer recess there and our meeting at Mizzier Homestead. So it's good to be back here with everyone. In just a moment, we'll ask you to join us for our invocation led by Pastor Ray of Vineyard Church in the town of East Fishkill. Pastor is a town resident. We appreciate your partnership as always. And that will be followed by a moment of silent meditation in memory of our dear friend, former town of Fishkill Highway Superintendent Glenn Schofield Sr. Please rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So let us pray. Father, we ask this evening for your presence upon this evening's town board proceedings. We ask as we gather that you would grant wisdom to each of our board members to help them make the decisions necessary for their job and specifically for this evening. I give them wisdom, Lord, beyond themselves. Give them clarity in difficult matters and vision for what is best for our wonderful town of Wappingers. Give them servants' hearts that they would lead from a place of care, concern, humility, and a genuine desire for the good of the people that they have been called to serve. Father, where there are differing opinions, would you grant patience, understanding, and respect? Lord, we ask that you would continue to bless our town of Wappingers. Watch over our schools, our children, our families, our first responders, our town employees, our businesses, and all who call this community home. May we be a town marked by compassion, generosity, integrity, and care for one another. And Lord, would you be the unseen foundation beneath all that we do as a town and as a community. We ask these things with gratitude and faith in the name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you. Please be seated. Thank you again, Ray. And again, I'd like to acknowledge the passing of former Fishkill Highway Superintendent Glenn Schofield, who was a great partner to the town of Wappinger when it came to mutual aid assistance. The town of Wappinger Highway Department did send a truck down to his funeral procession that was well attended and well deserved. So our thoughts continue to go out to the Schofield family and the town of Fishkill during this time. Okay. Moving along to the adoption of the agenda. I'd like to make a motion to add 2 resolutions to the non-consent portion of our agenda. A resolution appointing municipal code enforcement inspector in the Code Enforcement Office, and then another resolution authorizing the transfer of funds for the construction of the new Brexel Schlotthaus Park parking lot and authorizing an award to Clove Excavators Incorporated.
I'll second.
Moved by myself, second by Councilman Phillips. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The agenda has been adopted as amended. Councilman, would you mind passing it to the town clerk? Thank you. Do I have a motion to acknowledge the minutes from our last meeting?
I'll move it. Second.
Moved by Councilman Casella, second by Councilman Beal. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much. Folks, we have 2 public hearings before us this evening on 2 proposed local laws. One is the resolution introducing local law number 7 of 2026, which would declare that the instrument filed with the New York Secretary of State as Local Law Number 1 of 2020 of the Town of Wappinger is void for failure to comply with the requirements of the Municipal Home Rule Law. I'd like to ask that we open this public hearing, and I have a few questions for council.
I'll make a motion to open the public hearing.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Beal, second by Councilman Casella. All in favor?
Aye.
Public hearing is now open. Mr. Legori, I know that we have currently been in litigation on this matter regarding Downey. This proposed local law has been floating out since we first presented it in April. Just at the advice of council, should we move forward with this local law, or should we repeal it? As the sponsor, I could, withdraw it.
So my recollection on this was that, and apologies, I didn't catch up with Scott before this particular meeting, but
That's okay.
if this was the local law that was not adopted but filed,
Yes.
then we should proceed with repealing this.
Okay.
Okay?
Perfect.
That would be appropriate. And from where I last left off, I believe that's what Scott had recommended that we did.
Yes.
Okay.
And we were waiting for some court proceedings to move forward. And
Right, yeah.
I've been in the courtroom representing the town with our town council on this matter. So, all right, thank you very much. All right.
You're
Any members of the public wishing to speak on this public hearing? And essentially, this is revolving a litigation from the prior administration where they had alleged that the town board had adopted a local law, which they had not. So, okay. Seeing no members of the public wishing to speak on this public hearing, do I have a motion to close the public hearing?
I'll make the motion.
Moved by Councilman Beal, second by Councilman Phillips. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Public hearing is now closed. Moving along to our second public hearing of the evening, on a resolution introducing a local law amending various provisions of the town code of the town of Wappinger to improve administrative efficiency and enforcement procedures. And do I have a motion to open the public hearing?
I'll move it.
I'll second it.
Moved by Councilwoman Odell, second by Councilman Casella. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Public hearing is now open. For those who would like to address the town board, we ask that you come to the podium, give your name and address for the record. Seeing none, do I have a motion to close the public hearing?
I'll make a motion to close it.
Moved by Councilman Phillips, second by Councilman Casella. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much. Public hearing is now closed. On to the public portion of our agenda. We have a motion to open the public portion.
Move.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Beal, second by Councilwoman Odell. All in favor?
Aye.
Folks who are wishing to speak on agenda items, you may do so at this time. Seeing none, do I have a motion to close the
I'll make a
public
motion
portion?
to close.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Casella. Moved by Councilman Casella, second by Councilman Phillips. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, moving along to our consent resolutions. Resolution 2026-172, resolution accepting resignation of building inspector in the Code Enforcement Office. Resolution 2026-173, resolution accepting retirement of the Town of Wappinger employee. Resolution 2026-174, resolution in support of the New York State Association of Towns Bill of Rights. And Resolution 2026-175, correspondence log. Do I have a motion?
I'll move it.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Casella, second by Councilman Phillips. On to discussion, I would like to acknowledge the retirement of a over 20-year employee of the town of Wappinger, and that is Jerry Owen. Jerry has served the town of Wappinger as our dog control officer for over 2 decades, and has been a real staple in the town. And we are grateful for his service. We are thankful to him for training and assisting our new animal control officer getting on board. and transitioning things over. And Jerry is definitely going to be missed, but we greatly appreciate his service to the town of Wappinger. So, we have a motion and a second. Do we have any further discussion?
Yeah, just my thanks also to Jerry. I'm sure the town board, my colleagues agree, not the most glorious job, right? But I'll say thousands of dogs have been well served with his service to our town, as well as the residents that perhaps lost their dogs. But certainly challenging job when you look at some of the challenges that that position faced over the years, whether it be with kenneling, whether it be with getting dogs to the proper chain of custody. I mean, just unbelievable stories with that role. So Jerry did a great job doing that for 2 decades, and I wish the best of luck to the new dog control officer, who is well qualified, and I appreciate Jerry allowing for a smooth transition. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. See no further discussion on the consent agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. very much.
Did anyone make any comments, anyone want to make any comments on the New York State Association of Towns Bill of Rights?
I can certainly do that.
I just think it's important to not gloss over it inadvertently. As you read the resolution, much of it is consistent with our position in this town for several town boards. And the fact that we're highlighting those points and principles, I think is important. I'd also think it is consistent with the positions we've taken on several issues. Go ahead.
Absolutely. And thank you, Councilman, for noting that. This is something that obviously we have taken these stances on for multiple administrations, but over the course of this one. And from steps that we've taken from our town zoning code, acquiring 326 acres of land in our town, we maintain the fact that it's the people of the town of Wappinger who should have a say over what happens in the town of Wappinger, not Albany, not anyone else. So essentially what the New York State Association of Towns has provided and put together is this Bill of Rights. So in this spirit of 1776, they've drafted this resolution and forwarded it on to the 933 towns that make up the state of New York, and have called for the protection and defense of municipal home rule, which again allows the town board to make these decisions here at home. Local control of land use and zoning. There have been several proposals coming out of the New York State Legislature that would have taken local control out of the town board's hands, and they would have been able to supersede our town zoning code. Freedom from unfunded mandates. We have talked about this time and time again, whether it's our sewer plants or water treatment facilities that operate incredibly and are immaculate, as was noted by our congressman a few weeks ago, but are subject to unfunded mandates from the state to continue to be worked on without any sort of funding. And modernize transparency, accessibility, and engagement, something that we are very proud of in this town, from our Wappinger delivery notification system that mass notifies over 6,000 households now in our town. That email list goes out to, and keeps folks informed, whether that's minutes and agendas from the town board, zoning board of appeals, or planning board, or different events. We are working to try to keep our town residents as informed as possible. And that essentially is what this resolution supports. So.
And I'll just say, one of the most important decisions that we made recently, obviously, is the acquisition of that 300-plus acres of land. And no matter what side of the political spectrum you sit on, whether it be on a side that is pro-conservation, pro-environment, versus a side that sits more on pro-principal home rule, pro-zoning home rule, pro-anti-seeker change from above, right? We come together here, right? And I think by hearing each other's opinion, much of that unfortunately had to be an executive session because it was a real estate job, you would see everyone bringing their points forward, and it wasn't difficult to come to the same conclusion here, because at the moment that we were deliberating, the state legislature was deliberating on how to usurp home rule through seeker. And I think the most devastating outcome that could have occurred there is the state could have incentivized a level of development on that property that was inconsistent with the surrounding contiguous area. And that's a real issue that could have occurred.
It was a real threat. It
Right,
was
because-
100% about to happen, too.
Because if you read some of the prerequisites for that to occur, any prior development on a tract of land would make it eligible. And folks may not realize that there was previous development many years ago within that tract of land. So we came together to protect a large area that will benefit the taxpayers of this town in many different ways. So I think it's important to point that out again, because local control of land use and zoning, free from statewide zoning rules that override the voice of resident taxpayers and the officials they elect, is a section of this Bill of Rights which speaks very specifically to the difficult decision, which was the right decision that we collectively made to do that. So I appreciate whoever brought these Bill of Rights to the dais tonight and us codifying this in this meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. And again, as we've all attended the Association of Towns, they talk about this there, and that's why I felt very strongly that we should hop on the bandwagon here and lend our support. So thank you. All right, moving along to the non-consent resolutions. Resolution 2026-104, adopting local law which would declare that the instrument filed with the New York Secretary of State as local law number 1 of 2020 of the town of Wappinger is void for failure to comply with the requirements of the municipal home rule law. Do I have a motion?
I'll move it. Second.
Moved by Councilman Casella, second by Councilman Phillips. Any discussion? Seeing no further discussion on this point, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much. Local law has passed. Resolution 2026-144, resolution accepting easement and irrevocable offer of dedication of water improvements to the United Wappinger Water District. Do I have a motion for discussion?
So moved. Second.
Moved by Councilman Phillips, second by Councilman Casella. I'd like to call on Mr. Paggi to give us an update as to what's going on with the outstanding acceptance of easements at the Gasland site in Houstonville.
As this board knows, we've recommended that this resolution continue to be tabled. We have prepared, our office has prepared comments that remain to be addressed. There are several conditions in the easement that we don't believe are appropriate and should be accepted by the town. There are some permanent structures within the easement, and the easement specifically states that permanent structures should not be within the easement. There's portions of the easement that are inaccessible for equipment, which would realistically make it impossible to maintain if the town took it over without getting additional permissions from property owners. So we do not believe that the easement as currently proposed is ready for consideration for this dedication.
Thank you, Mr. Paggi.
So when do we think it's going to be ready? Because the next meeting is September 14th.
We haven't I mean, they've got the comments, and
Yeah.
we're not, it's really in their court at this point.
Okay.
And I feel very strongly that we should not be accepting any infrastructure from a developer, as we've seen all across this town, where the town has prematurely taken over some infrastructure, and there's been some issues. So we've identified there's outstanding issues on that site. We need to make sure that they're corrected. Thank you, Mr. Podgy, for your comments on that before we entertain any further action.
Yeah, I'm just trying to. Table?
I strongly would support tabling.
Move
but-
table.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Beal, second by Councilwoman Odell.
So the only reason why I brought up the 14th is if we're going to continue to table it, because not going to, do we make it the end of September, beginning of October, rather than
October.
putting it on the
Yeah, it's-
agenda?
I think they're going to need that much time. I believe that all the issues can be rectified.
Okay.
That's what I was
but
going to
I think it's going
recommend.
to take some work.
Yeah.
So,
So, Councilman Beal, would you like to amend your motion to table this to October?
Yeah, just give me a date when you want to do it till.
First meeting in October,
It was
13th.
the
the
13th.
13th.
It's the Tuesday.
Yeah, it's a Tuesday, that's correct.
All right, move to table until October 13th.
Moved by Councilman Beal,
Second.
second by Councilwoman Odell. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much.
so the only thing I would add to that is, until you actually see a letter from our office accepting this to this town board, I would continue to table it, just in case somebody from our office is not present, and you're wondering what's going on. If you don't have that from us, it hasn't been accepted by us.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Okay. Resolution 2026-176, resolution authorizing 2026 budget amendment.
I'll make the motion. I'll second it.
Moved by Councilman Phillips, second by Councilman Casella. On the discussion, this is a standard quarterly budget amendment. We had some things come up, like a roof blew off at the highway department. It was the one roof that we didn't repair, so this one's now fully replaced. Just like you folks, the town had increased Central Hudson costs, things like that. So this is a standard budget amendment.
That, and we had a lot of healthcare
insurance.
expenses too, we weren't expecting.
Yes, people are using the HRA accounts, that's for sure. So, all right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. Resolution 2026-177, resolution authorizing delegate to legislative meeting of the New York Association of Towns. Do I have a motion for discussion?
Move. I'll move it.
Oh, moved by Councilman Phillips, second
Second.
by Councilman Casella. On the discussion. The New York Association of Towns has launched a new conference this year to take place September 22nd through the 23rd in Albany. This is in addition to the annual meeting that occurs in New York City in now March. They've moved forward with a legislative meeting. This resolution here does include blanks to determine who would like to be the delegate, as well as set a financial limit. Anyone in the town is welcome to attend, elected or employed, and I wanted to float this out to the town board to see what your interests were in attending this conference.
I think Bill should go.
So would this be in lieu of going down to the association?
No, this is in addition to.
Addition.
Yes, this is an additional conference, a legislative meeting where they're talking about a lot of these pressing issues right now that are in front of the state government. Would we like to amend the resolution to say that the supervisor should appoint a delegate? And then would you like to set a budgeted amount for employees or anyone to attend?
So what would the per diem would be set based on our standards, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, so, yeah, unfortunately, I'm very consumed that week.
Same.
It's a Tuesday and Wednesday.
The highway superintendent expressed interest in this as well.
Let him go.
All right,
That's good.
we can have him
Yes.
go. Okay. All right, so would we like to set a budgeted amount?
Do we know what it costs to
Or-
stay?
Yes, we have costs on all of that. Would you like us to then have us come back on a budget amendment?
Yeah, because there's probably hotels, plus.
Well, we have money left, is there money left in the line from the Association of Towns?
No, we budget exactly to the penny for
All right,
everything.
I would just say, there should be a government rate for hotel stay.
Yes, there is.
And there's IRS mileage if needed. I don't know that we need to take any action
Okay.
fiscally. I think we can just authorize the delegate. If it's the highway superintendent that's going to attend, if we can provide some input once we know what the legislative priorities are, that would be helpful, so.
And I may be able to attend, I just have to move some things around, but, all right, so we'll adopt so we have a motion, a second. I would recommend that we adopt this resolution here tonight, and then we'll take care of all of the specifics later. Perfect.
Fair enough.
We have a motion, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None, thank you very much.
Now,
Yes, sir.
before we move on, so just curiosity-wise, there was some discussion about the New York State Association of Towns Training School and Conference, which normally is on President's Day weekend,
Yes.
that moving to a new,
It is now in March, correct?
it's in March. Do you know when in March it's going to be? I'm just
I will
curious.
send it out to everyone,
Yeah.
yes.
All right, I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, there is a new executive director of the New York State Association of Towns, and he has really changed things up. I have to say, they do a monthly supervisor roundtable Zoom call, where I'm on a Zoom call with town of Southampton supervisor to, town up in Schoharie County, so it's a good range. So they are adding additional classes. They are looking at additional programs. Obviously, they just added a second conference. So as we get more details, we'll pass that
Okay,
along.
thank you.
Okay. Moving along to the next resolution, 2026-178. Resolution adopting local law amending various provisions of the town code of the town of Wappinger to improve administrative efficiency and enforcement procedures. Do I have a motion? Moved by Councilman Phillips,
I'll second it.
second by Councilman Casella. On the discussion, again, we had presented this resolution and proposed local law at our last town board meeting. This is cleaning up a number of outdated parts of our town code, giving additional enforcement ability to code enforcement staff in the code enforcement office, and cleaning up the sign code of the town of Wappinger, especially in the hamlet mixed-use zone areas where those hanging blade signs were found to be illegal, quote-unquote, in the town. So it's just updating a few of those cases, like we discussed in great detail at our last meeting. So seeing no further discussion, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. The local law has been adopted. Resolution 2026-179, resolution introducing a proposed local law amending chapters 122, 171, and 230, the town code of the town of Wappinger to establish parking permit requirements and scheduling a public hearing therein. Do I have a motion for discussion?
I'll move it.
Second.
Moved by Councilwoman Odell, second by Councilman Phillips. Bless you. On the discussion, we have spoken about on this dais and had many a conversation about the abuse of some of our town facilities by non-residents. This continues to have a great impact on the town of Wappinger residents who choose to utilize town facilities. Most recently, a number of issues have been brought to my attention of the commercialization of the Chelsea boat ramp and docks in our Chelsea hamlet, where there are individuals who are operating commercial enterprises off of town property. That is, in and of itself, illegal unless permitted by the town board in the Parks and Recreation section of the town code. But this is now operating in the town roadway and in the parking areas of, obviously, this particular facility. I was down at the Chelsea waterfront just yesterday and surveying conditions, and spoke to a lot of the folks and noticed that town residents could not get parking spaces at our town facility, and were actually being pushed out by out-of-town individuals. What this local law sets forth is giving the town board a structure and a provision within the town code to create parking permitted regulations within the town of Wappinger at any town-owned facility or roadway, and then at a reorg meeting or at a regular town board meeting, the town board can then pass a resolution annually regulating specific sites, fees, so on and so forth. What I see this, how I see this working is the town board, and this is my recommendation, would pass that resolution annually for free to all town of Wappinger residents. All town of Wappinger residents would get this parking permit for whatever it may be. Chelsea Yacht Club, a town park, wherever it may be, you get this parking pass for free as you paid for it in your taxes. But a non-resident would have to pay. And I would argue it should be a substantial fee because, again, we want to prioritize our facilities for our town residents. That will be debated and discussed at a later date. But what this proposed local law would do is set the framework in the town code and essentially be a permit no different than the recycle center permit, where they can obtain it at the town clerk's office, again, for free for town residents. But we could decide that a facility that is very popular and town residents want to use, that they're being pushed out down the line, could be added over time. But I do feel that we should be taking action specifically down in the Chelsea Hamlet. And I would like to note, too, that this proposed local law comes from various samples across New York State, from Westchester County, town-owned parks. A very popular one that Mr. Paloni and I have seen is the town of East Hampton, town of Southampton parking permit, and we've basically taken that structure and applied it here to the town of Wappinger.
So on the public roadway, it's permit parking only? That's basically what we're doing?
Yes.
Okay. And that would be from Front Street and a portion of Bank Street, I guess?
Yes, correct. And actually, there are already no parking zones in the Chelsea Hamlet that would be enforced through this as well.
I would just want to make sure we don't inadvertently affect the Chelsea Yacht Club when they have events, because they probably count on that street parking for events.
A lot of their members are town residents, so they would be getting that permit, and we can work something out.
Okay.
We are also talking about the potential purchase of land, one of the corner lots there, that we could work out an agreement that there would be municipal parking there, and perhaps in the wintertime, then they can do their dry dock storage there. But we would talk about a real estate transaction with them for market value of that site.
Yeah, no, I'm not against this.
So before we institute it, though, I guess the question is, this is specific to Chelsea, et cetera, but it
This
could
is
also be
specific to
applicable.
the entire town.
Yeah.
Not specific to Chelsea, this is the entire town.
So-
And after it's adopted, then a resolution would be adopted by this town board for whatever specific place. That would be Chelsea, wherever else we decide. And it would be annually adopted and brought forward at every reorg meeting. So a future town board can say, we want to institute parking regulations at blank facility. That can be set by a future town
All
board.
right, so you could update it based on the facility itself.
Correct.
So if we chose, say, for example, right now, I know we're just talking specifically Chelsea, but if there was others that we wanted to do it for, this would allow us to do it, but do we need a resolution to include those? Or is it all-inclusive tonight?
So no, so as you read the proposed local law, this is setting that structure.
Okay.
And within the town code proposal, says that the town board will, via resolution, designate roadways, properties, et cetera, fees via resolution. And so upon this getting adopted, which would be at our next meeting following a public hearing, then there would be a resolution laid on the dais setting parking regulations for whatever facility that would be. Personally, I am bringing out in the open the Chelsea Hamlet because, again, we need to look out for our residents. Our residents cannot park. There are significant issues there. We need to make sure that our residents have the priority. It would be free parking, they get their permit, and at least they would know when they show up to use the boat ramp, they at least have a shot. When I was down there on Sunday, there was not the commercial company that was operating down there, I was waiting for them, but it was multiple out-of-town, out-of-county individuals that were actually blocking up all of the available parking down there with their boat trailers and jet ski trailers. So,
I mean, it's a tight spot. There's not a lot of space. We've done improvements to it, so that's why everybody is going there now.
Of course.
So, but I think the intent and the concept here makes sense. I would just say that on the other end of this, there's got to be an enforcement mechanism that actually works, or else, you know,
oh yeah.
it's not going to be of any use if we can't properly enforce this.
And that's where the Dutchess County Sheriff's Office would come into play, the Wappinger Patrol. There would be designated patrol days of them going down there doing targeted enforcement, as well as Town of Wappinger code enforcement personnel would also have the authority of police powers on this as well.
Be careful with that.
That's how the town code is currently written.
I understand that, but conflict, it will not end well if there's conflict with a code enforcement officer.
Council?
We'll work through it.
Yep.
I've seen this, I have it in my own town. And this precise issue, we had regulations come about because we have a very usable ramp on Candlewood Lake in the town of New Milford. And to get to it, you have to go through a town park, and you have to buy a parking pass, which unfortunately is not free for town residents.
Oh,
but-
really?
Yeah, but it is reduced. So if you're a resident, it's $60 per season, but $400 for the boat ramp, even if you are a resident.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's how popular it is. So, you know, when word gets out that your municipal asset is accessible, it becomes very valuable to the exclusion of everybody else, unfortunately, and oftentimes to your own residents.
Yeah.
So this is a, you know, I think the approach that you're taking by doing it town-wide, town road-wide,
Yep.
is important. It's important for the constitutionality perspective. And by listing it by resolution every year is efficient, so you don't need a new law. So it's the way to go.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. The town clerk will schedule the public hearing. Thank you.
You might want to take a field trip to Southampton, like right now.
Yeah. I have one coming up in a few weeks.
I do a lot of weddings on Candlewood there at that venue.
Candlewood.
And I love when, in the middle of the ceremony, people come rolling up in their boats to sit there in the background. The photographers love that.
I turn my
I'm
music
sure.
down, just so you know.
What's that?
I turn my music down, just so you know.
Well, you're only one.
Thank you. All right. Resolution 2026-180, resolution reaffirming Resolution 2026-149. Do I have a motion?
I'll move.
Moved by Councilman Phillips,
Second.
second by Councilman Casella. On the discussion, this town board took historic action in our rezone of the town from 5-acre zoning to 2-acre zoning, hamlet mixed use. Essentially, we received county comments. We also completed our secret process during this time. So standard would be just to reaffirm the fact that the town board has taken this stance and that we stand by this local law. So that is all this resolution does, is reaffirm that. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Thank you very much. Resolution has been adopted. We have two more added to the non-consent. Resolution appointing municipal code enforcement inspector in the code enforcement office. I would like to move the name of Francis Butch Hoffman as a municipal code enforcement inspector.
Move. Or second.
Moved by myself, second by Councilman Beal. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Just to clarify, this, obviously, this individual was interviewed, and this is consistent with the civil service list, is that correct? Or is this provisional?
This is subject to civil service law. As you know, there is now the New York State HELPS program.
Okay.
And this is a HELPS eligible
Okay.
position. We are getting Mr. Butch, Mr. Hoffman, from the town of Woodstock,
Okay.
and is fully qualified. He was formerly a department head in that municipality, and brings a great deal of experience to the town of Wappinger. We are very excited to have him join our team as a municipal code enforcement officer.
Thank you.
Thank
That
you.
and Barbara also had an opportunity to, so our code enforcement supervisor had an opportunity to interview, as well as Megan and Joey and whatever, and they're very pleasantly surprised by this individual. So again, I think it's going to be a good fit for the town, and we do need that spot filled.
Yes, indeed. All right, thank you very much, folks. On to the final resolution of the evening. Resolution authorizing the transfer of funds for the construction of a new Brexel Schlotthaus Park parking lot and authorizing an award to Clove Excavators, Inc. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Moved by Councilman
approve.
Casella,
Second.
second by Councilman Phillips. On the discussion, folks, we've done a lot of work over at Brexel Schlotthaus Park, and I am proud to say that those improvements that you see at that park have been entirely grant-funded, from the live performance stage, the dance floor, the community center. They have been entirely grant-funded and have not come out of the town budget. Even the drainage that we've taken action on out there cost $600 in drainage, and our town highway and buildings and grounds personnel did the work out there, and it is bone dry there. Even the beautiful farm-style fence that you see running along Old Myers was paid for by Habitat for Humanity and installed by them. So the town really has not seen any cost for all of those beautiful improvements out at that park, and we're very proud of that. With these improvements, obviously, means more people coming to the park, and especially that community center there that we opened. As many people know, parking is quite the difficult situation over at Schlotthaus, so what we are proposing in the area of the community center in the garage is a 64-car parking lot that would be tucked into the landscape there, preserving trees that are along that stretch of All Angels Hill Road as well, and offer a safe, true parking lot to our residents, especially our seniors and handicapped drivers. Councilman Casella and I have met several times out there with the contractor, as well as the supervisor of buildings and grounds. We feel that this is the most cost-effective and efficient way of getting this done, and would again offer 64 parking spaces. We laid this on the dais here tonight because we just received the quote from them today. And we would like to get this done prior to Carnival, which will be really the last week of September, first week of October. And if we take action on this here tonight, that would set the stage for a brand-new parking lot coming in for one of our most popular events at that park.
So one of the things it does do, and I agree, thank you for coming out there and working with me and Clove on getting these estimates. So one of the things it's going to do is when you first pull into the parking lot, it's going to expand it to 24 feet wide. So it's going to double the size of the actual entrance and exit. Again, that was a safety issue. The other thing they're looking at doing is they're going to try to build a ramp. So as you're pulling out of there, because right now you're going up on an incline like this, they're going to build a ramp so it's a lot smoother coming out of that. Unfortunately, there's a lot of wetlands out there, and that's why it's as expensive as it is, but this is something we've been talking about. It's roughly another 50 parking places on top of what we have today, so the 64 supervisor referenced. So it's going to be a significant improvement, and what we're going to do is parking lot will be split kind of in two pieces. So think of this as the middle, Parking lots will be on both sides. You're going to have this green area. Thank you, Vanna. We're going to have this green area in the middle that we'll be able to do something to help beautify that park as well, too. So again, we worked very well with the contractor. We've met him a couple of times. This seems to be the best alternative. Again, if you had to have engineers and everybody else come in, it would be significantly more expensive. And this company specializes in those kind of things. So again, I think it's going to be a great improvement to Schleit House Park. We'll be able to finally fit more than 15 cars in there.
Yeah.
And again, looking forward to having it in there before Carnival comes in. It's going to take him about 6 weeks to do, so he would have to start this Friday, and he'll be able to complete it on time.
Any further discussion?
So where are we funding this from?
This is from B Fund Balance, and then it would be a budget transfer into B.711.0453 to fund this project.
And then with respect to procurement, how does that work?
This is subject to Dutchess County RFP contract DCP-44-26.
Thank you.
All right. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much, folks. I know that everyone's going to be very excited to see that new addition in the park.
Yeah.
Okay. That concludes the non-consent portion of our agenda. Moving along to items for special consideration and new business. Just prior to this meeting, we had a rather quick and heavy storm that came through the town of Wappinger. We've really evaded the last few storms. This one came right through the center of town. We were able to shut down our farmers market in time. Shout out to our vendors that packed up in the rain, but we thank them for being out there. During this storm, I was on the phone with the highway superintendent. We immediately deployed the town of Wappinger Highway Department personnel to clear upwards of 10 trees throughout the town. We were in contact with our representatives at Central Hudson, notifying exact locations of road closures that were outstanding due to trees being on power lines. From the last time I checked, we have about 750 properties without power currently in the town. And tonight and into tomorrow morning, I will continue to be in contact with Central Hudson, as well as the highway superintendent, make sure that we continue to clean up the town. With it being August, that means budget season is well underway in Town Hall. I have concluded meeting with majority of our town's department heads and division leaders. We have a few more meetings this week so we can finalize the supervisor's tentative budget, which is then due to the town board and will be presented that first week of October. We are moving along pretty well and have a good handle of what we're going to be presenting to the town board with some very exciting additions for 2027. So we are looking forward to that. And budget season, I always find very exciting and fascinating, and we are headfirst in it right now. So looking forward to presenting that to the town board. As I noted, obviously, it's Monday. We had our weekly farmers market outside. It was cut short today, but it has been so successful over the last several weeks. We have really curated a true community feel and market. You are not going to find sales individuals at this farmers market or tchotchke type vendors. You see local residents that are selling agriculturally based goods and artisan wares. You see local farms. Meadowbrook has several times throughout the process come back and restocked their produce, which has been great to see. And we have just a great group. I personally donated tote bags. First time I did, I bought 200 of them. They went within the first 2 hours. I bought another 200, and again, they went the next day. So residents have been loving it. It's been great to see the community feel, and it's a group of folks that are coming around that don't typically come to our events and our programs. So it's great just to see the wide array of town residents coming, mingling, and getting fresh produce and seeing where their food comes from. So it's been great.
You're doing a great job on that. I have not been to one personally, but my dad was here a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
And he said it's just very beyond impressive. So great job to everyone that brings that together.
Thank you. I have to give a special shout out to our market coordinator, Amy Matos, who has stepped up and just done a phenomenal job working with Jim Glorioso, who's a member of our planning board. He created on his own time this amazing app called Vine Stops, which we're utilizing for free and all of our vendors are utilizing. And again, this is a unique market because as I'm speaking with residents, I'm able to say, these flowers were grown right at Ober Creek and cut 3 hours before, right down the street in the Houstonville hamlet. And this garlic was grown at Carnwath Farms, your town park, and harvested literally just a couple hours ago. I can't put it into words, but thank you, Councilman, for noting that.
Sure.
Because it's been great. Again, the last time we met, we were at the Mizzier Homestead Historic Site doing our reenactment there, and it was great to see everyone dressed up. We're encouraging everyone to come out on September 12th to Carnwath Farms Historic Site and Park for our Living History Colonial Day, where we will have colonial and Revolutionary War reenactors at Carnwath encamped on the property, doing everything from military camping drills, to cooking, to musket firing, and I believe we're even going to have a cannon. So this is going to be something that is pretty cool out at Carnwath, continuing to celebrate our nation's 250th anniversary. This week is the last week of summer camp at Castle Point Park and Martz Field. We have had another great year. The kids have been phenomenal. The counselors really stepped it up this year. I was very, very impressed. The concession stand is going well. It's just been great. I've popped out there a few times, as I know my colleagues have as well. I was actually at a gathering at a resident's home over the weekend and met many of our counselors who have expressed just great pride in working for the town and being a part of what we're doing. So it was great to see. And when I popped in last week to the summer camp just to say hi, I went and supported the concession stand and got an ice cream sandwich. It was actually great to see the kids. They knew who I was. It was just cool. So shout out to our summer camp staff and Parks and Recreation for doing a phenomenal job. A great season out there again. This past Friday, I had the great honor of being the keynote speaker for County Clerk Brad Kendall's naturalization ceremony that was hosted in the town of Wappinger at Royce Ketchum High School. It was great to reflect on my family's own immigration story and reflect on that, as well as talk to many of our town and county's newest citizens. So that was a great opportunity to be part of that. Councilman Casella attended, as well as our county legislators, Faust and Giles. It was just another moving, very moving ceremony. And we will be next month the host of another naturalization ceremony. County Clerk Brad Kendall. Kendall has asked to use the town board meeting chambers here at Town Hall, and we'll be having one on Constitution Day. That will be a special.
What's the date of that again?
I believe September 17th.
Okay.
That is Constitution Day, so I believe that would be the day.
That's a daytime event, or?
Correct.
Okay. If you can just, what's very helpful is when your secretary drops things on our calendars.
Yes. I will
Instead
make
of
sure
just an email, because then it actually populates.
We will
So,
make sure she gets.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. Earlier in the summer, we were able to have a press conference at our Hilltop Water Treatment Facility as Congressman Ryan announced that he had secured just under $800,000 in federal funding to improve the filtration system at our Hilltop well fields. I have to give the congressman a special shout out. He had reached out to me back in February and asked what the town of Wappinger needed and said, you know, we're going to put in for around $1 million, and hopefully we'll get something, and he came through with this. So in the federal budget, it has been adopted through committee, and will be in the 2027 federal budget. And so that is funding that will go toward new filters at Hilltop. It was funny, when we were at the press conference, members of the press were pressing me for answers. Why are you doing this? And why is the town of Wappinger changing out these filters? And the answer was quite simple. We did not have to be told by a state or federal regulating agency that we had to do this. We felt that this was cost effective. The filters that were previously installed under a prior administration were very, very costly to operate, upwards of $300,000 a year in new filters every year. When I took office, we took those wells, in particular, offline at Hilltop, saving us taxpayer money. And now, through this federal funding, we will buy filters that are self-cleaning. And it's just in a way for the town to be cost-effective, keep costs off of taxpayers' back, and to keep a affordable water system. So they were kind of surprised by that. They were looking for that gotcha moment that we might have contaminants in our water, and Councilman Casella was there for that. He saw that we handled it rather well, and kind of surprised a few people that, again, we're just taking the next step to be as efficient to our residents as possible. We noted Cranberry a few times over the course of this meeting. Officially on July 9th, we closed on Cranberry Hills. We have had town personnel working back there, clearing pathways for our trails and navigating that property. We have a lot of big things in the works, so we're very excited for 2027, but it is now officially town-owned property. Speaking about town-owned properties, you might have seen in the news, as that got in the news as well, that we now have goats at Carnwath Farms Historic Site and Park. At no cost to taxpayers, we were able to partner with Carnwath Community Farming to bring some furry friends over to Carnwath and clear a lot of the invasive species and overgrown areas of the park. They have been going to town up there and really clearing out a lot. They've also been a great attraction for many park goers as well. So it's been great to see Reggie, who is named for former town supervisor Reginald Reeves, who owned Carnwath. Franklin, named after former President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, and Honey, just because she's cute and the tiny one, up there working. So it's been great. If you're up there, we highly recommend you check out our newest employees. I also had the opportunity a few weeks ago to attend a forum hosted by the United States EPA. The federal government has been working on since 2016 the cleanup of the contaminated Superfund site that is the lower Wappinger Creek. That is from the base of the Wappingers Falls out toward about Reese Park. The federal government has allocated $88 million to the completion of this project. EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin, we've been in contact with their office, is moving forward with the option to completely remediate that site, which means going down in some areas 5 to 10 feet and completely removing the contaminated sediment, which is substantial numbers of mercury in the lower creek. And that they are looking for, a 3-year timeline in completing that. The forum was hosted at the Grinnell Public Library and was attended by many town and village residents. I was able to ask a number of questions, asking about the real scope of work. This is not including the Wappinger Lake, which I did express significant concerns about to the EPA, that again, they will be remediating a site south of the dam downstream, and my concern is again, that getting contaminated after they do their cleanup. They are looking at the industrial cleanup, which is what was caused by the Three Star Anodizing Company and the Duchess Bleachery from the 1800s to the 1950s. So they are focusing on the lower Wappinger Creek at this time. We're going to continue to advocate for the Wappinger Lake, which is owned by the Village of Wappingers Falls, to be cleaned up. But right now, they are looking at the stretch from the base of the Wappingers Falls to just beyond Reese Park. So we will be continuing to be in contact with the EPA.
Dredging, I mean, you got to be real careful with this because you have a century worth of contaminants buried under silt downstream of a waterfall.
Yes.
That we're now going to disturb.
Yes.
We're not going to,
Yeah,
but,
no, we're not.
you know.
And we raised a number of those concerns too, as, again, the EPA and their decision-making appear to be rather focused on just the industrial contamination and specific to that bleachery site and not other areas of contamination. We raised that there was an oil tank that was out kind of in that peninsula across from Reese Park there where there's a lot of infill. The contamination that continues to come from the Poughkeepsie Galleria parking lot as the downstream drainage from the Poughkeepsie Galleria parking lot goes directly into the Wappinger Creek there. So we raised a number of these concerns with the EPA, and they seem focused on this one specific project. They were looking at a cap as an option as well, which would be basically a plastic layer that would be laid and then a series of natural elements added on top. But again, they seem to be going for the complete remediation and not just capping it.
I mean, that's an area of water that flows in two directions.
It's a tidal estuary, yes.
So you have that. You have over 100 years of potential contamination prior to the contamination that was identified, right, if you see the history. And my fear would also be that we can't afford to lose any depth there either. So there's barely enough depth for those that have small boats for fishing right now. So, you know, I'm all about cleaning up the site, but we have to be, or they have to be very cognizant of inadvertently creating more of a problem, which was the ongoing debate on the Hudson River for many years, right? So certainly ensuring that they have the big picture in mind and not just being laser focused on the parcels
Yes.
would be my concern.
So we've also been in contact with Riverkeeper and New York State DEC, so we're going to continue to monitor this situation. So
And
it's
who's-
important that the town was representing there.
Agreed. Who owns the property now across the creek? Is that, the property where the cemetery is on the hill?
So that is currently owned by the Putnam Audubon
Right. So,
Society. They are currently in the process of transferring that to the town of Poughkeepsie.
all right, so I would be interested in hearing an opinion from Riverkeeper and the Audubon Society about this project,
Yes,
because they may be in a position to do an independent analysis of this.
absolutely. And our thought is, again, while the EPA is here working on the site, they should be looking at everything from 30,000 feet. They should not be just isolating their work. So,
Because the other issue that could occur is, there could be a discovery of PFOAs then, right? You know where I'm going with this. You start digging into these situations, and I'm dealing with this at work right now, where we have a mitigation project, and we're fearful that we're going to, during that mitigation project, find more problem, right?
Yes.
So, again, I think you know where I'm going with this, and as the engineer shakes his head in the affirmative,
yes.
so.
So we've made sure the EPA knows that we are going to be kept in the loop on this, and we'll also advise the village as to what's going on as well. We'll keep them in the loop.
Thank you.
All right. And speaking of village-oriented activities, the Town of Fishkill Supervisor Ozzy Albra and Village Mayor Kevin Huber and I advocated to the County Transportation Council and County Planning to do a full study of Route 9D, especially with the ongoing issues with truck traffic going through the Village of Wappingers Falls and the Houstonville hamlet there.
Yes.
This study confirmed what we knew all along. Lights are not timed properly on Route 9. They are using the village as a bypass. This is not local truck traffic. This is not our local vendors or local contractors that are utilizing these roads, and that's not who we're looking to call out, even if they are utilizing it. We, through this study, were able to identify traffic patterns and routes of these large trucks, and they are coming from Parsippany, New Jersey, out to Vermont. They're going from Philadelphia to Massachusetts, and they are cutting through the village and our town to bypass lights and to avoid traffic. And that is really what we're seeing is because of Waze and these other wayfinding apps taking these truck drivers down the fastest routes that they can. So there are a number of recommendations now in this study that we are encouraging the village to take. The village has the full ability to enforce weight limits through their police department, and they can create other barriers that the town might not be able to have that ability to do. So we're going to continue to work with county planning on some remediation efforts on alleviating traffic on Route 9D, correcting the times on Route 9, and just trying to get people out of the town. So we're going to continue to work on that. A lot has gone on. It's been a very busy summer. I think that's enough of a recap from my end. Again, if you ever have any questions or concerns, continue to feel free to stop by my office or reach out to us, and we're working nonstop over here. It's a fun time to be in Wappinger. With that, I believe we had the first word start off the last time. I'm going to turn it over to Councilman Al Casella for a prepared statement.
Yes. So before I speak about activities in the town, I want to make a statement tonight on Royal Karting. As you may or may not know, Royal Karting Service Company was bought out by Casella Waste Systems. I want to make it perfectly clear, I am not related to the Casella company that bought out Royal Company. The only thing we have in common is the spelling of our last names. I've received a number of phone calls, emails, texts asking me for billing issues, to help out on billing issues, missed pickup of trash, recycling. Again, I am not related, have zero influence on issues. I've seen comments on Nextdoor on the same issues, and bills continue to go up. I've been a Royal Company customer for over 30 years. I pay what you pay, just like Ford says. Going back to December 2025, I was paying $81.29 every 2 months. That was raised to $85.86 in February of 2026, increased again to $88.74 in April, and now we're paying monthly of $44.37. So again, I wish I could help with these issues that the residents are having, but I am not related and have zero influence. I just want to make that very clear to everybody, because I'm getting a lot of phone calls, and again, if I could help you out, I would, but again, I can't. So I apologize, but again, I'm not related.
Councilman Casella, just one question. Are you related to the new waste management company that took over Royal?
I am not.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for clarifying. The company that we also severed ties with on the recycle center, you have no relation to?
No.
Thank you.
Just checking.
No.
I knew that. How did I know this was coming? I've been reading all these threads and thinking to myself, I wonder if Al's going to comment on this.
I wasn't going to, but there's enough comments about this that I thought I had to make a statement tonight,
Understood.
just so it's, clarification. So now I want to kind of go into the activities, and I'll take your question later, because it looks like you had a question in the audience about that.
I have a comment on that. Don't try to contact Casella Sanitation. It's next to impossible.
Yeah.
I've heard that.
That is why Councilman
That's-
Casella is not related
That's
to the
why I'm making
Casella
that
group.
comment.
He answers your phone call.
It's easier to get a hold of.
It's easier to get a hold of Councilman Casella, but not for garbage issues.
Yes.
I've been trying for a long time since they changed.
Yeah, it's
It's a
It's
common
tough.
issue.
It's tough.
They just don't have a centralized call bureau someplace. It's impossible.
Yeah.
Councilman Casella?
Okay. So anyway, just want to talk about a couple of things. Actually, the supervisor touched on them. So on July 8th, we had the Hilltop Wells on Deer Run Road. It was a bipartisan collaboration, which was great. And again, it's all about, making the water system better. So we got a $747,000 grant, which was great. So again, we talked about the filters. The filters today cost about $5,000 a pop. These are a little more expensive, the newer ones. but they're gonna be better. They're gonna allow for new filters that'll last longer, number one. Number two, they can be clean, similar to when you clean your pool. You can do like a backwashing. So again, this is gonna last a lot longer, and this money will go towards really helping the Hilltop wells. Again, no issues with the water itself, but the filtration system, doing those filters every month actually is what they were doing. Sometimes less than that was cost prohibitive. July 22nd, supervisor was with me, Tyler Adams, welcome home for the World Cup at Martz Field. Basically what we did was we did a rededication of Martz Field. Scott's is going to go out there, weed, seed, and all that good stuff. We have a sprinkler system out there installed, which is great. Thank our Buildings and Grounds team for doing that, so they did an outstanding job. On the 22nd of July, we had the Office of Aging picnic at Robinson Lane.
Yes.
Nice event. Was glad to see so many seniors out there, and the weather was really perfect that day. Probably in the 80s, but no humidity.
It was beautiful.
Again, on the 22nd, a busy day, we had the annual Wappingers Historical Picnic at the Boathouse. Another great event that Joey and I were both at. August 2nd, we had the James Warrior at Schlatt House Park, and that's a resource for those that were affected by suicide through public awareness and education. So a great program they had out there. Some very good bands out there as well.
Yes, very.
I also attended, as Joey said, the naturalization ceremony in Ketchum. 12 people were naturalized. That was an amazing event. That's kind of the first time I've ever been there. So Brad Kendall did an outstanding job, as well as Justice C. Martin. And of course, Joey was the keynote speaker, so did a really nice job.
Thank you, Councilman.
So this one, Bill, you'll like this one. August 8th, happens to be somebody's birthday on the board here, National Pickleball Day.
Oh.
So I actually played that day. I went out there and I played on National Pickleball Day. August 12th, we got a couple things coming up. For those of you that are into the line dancing, that continues this Wednesday from 7 to 9. We also have the end of the summer barbecue for seniors, so I'm going to attend that. Just a couple of general comments. Wi-Fi at Robinson Lane is up temporarily. I was out there on Sunday. They had some component failures out there, based on the recent storm. So they're also looking into Wi-Fi on R4, which is the farthest field in the back, does not work. But again, it was operational. I was out there Sunday, and ITC is going to do a little bit more work on that.
Councilman, thank you for taking the lead and getting ITC out there. Were they able to figure out, is this an Altice issue? Who do we need to hold accountable for continuing to?
So right now, they're still doing work to figure out who's responsible.
Okay.
So when they do that, they'll get back to us on that, and then we need to take action to find out what's going on.
Thank you.
Yep. Just a couple more things. Solitude, for those in the audience that don't know who Solitude is, Solitude does our cleaning of our ponds. So Rockingham Pond, Yield Apple Orchard Pond as well, and they've done an outstanding job. And if you take a look at it, we're getting some favorable comments on that. The water is crystal clear. We're also working on Reese Park as well. That one's going to require a little more work, but we're looking to put a fountain out there. There's no aerator out there, whereas the other ponds, there's aerators, so it keeps the water circulating. Last but not least, our farmers market. It's been a great success. I was out there last week, so beautiful day. What I will tell you is a great job by Amy Matos, again, kind of organizing this, and also to Jim Glorioso for putting up the vine stops. So that was another good thing. And then the other thing, too, is, again, one last thing I'll tell you. That I know Joey started the budget. I look forward to seeing that budget. I just did one, actually, for the Sons of Italy, so I know that's not nearly as strenuous as this one, but it was good to be able to do that and kind of get myself ready to go for the next thing.
Yeah.
That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Happy belated birthday to Councilman Phillips.
Thank you.
Welcome home.
Thank you very much. The last month and a half, I have been traveling from Maine to Georgia on a motorcycle, and then last week out in Colorado, so I've been enjoying myself in retirement. But you mentioned the World Cup, and we have to acknowledge our own Mike Miner,
Yes.
who was at the field for the final.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty amazing thing. So Mike, we love you and great job.
He wasn't playing, right?
Yeah, he was filming.
I don't believe so.
He was the camera operator.
Yes.
Yeah, he was running up and down the field. just holding a camera.
And he's currently our camera operator right
Yes,
now.
yes.
We give the highway department great credit, but I have to say, on my way here, there was lines down on Kent Road, and I called Mike to let him know, and they were already out, and he had guys on the way over there already. So they do a fantastic job, and while we're home or whatever, they're out there working. So to our highway department, they're always there when we need them. So guys, thank you. I see the construction is getting there
Yes.
at the garage, so that's another thing we've been trying for many years to get done.
Yes, very
So that's a
proud of
great thing. I had two other things, but I don't know what they are. So I'm going to get old. Okay, go ahead.
All right, Councilwoman Odell?
Okay. Tonight, we worked through a full agenda, took action on several important issues affecting the town, from finances, infrastructure, to planning thoughtfully for Wappinger's future. Yesterday was the Robert Van Tassel Live the Dash 5K, and I was happy to participate down in Chelsea, finishing 81st. It was
Well, you
great.
finished.
She finished. We were cheering her on. I was there right at the finish line. We cheered her on.
All right.
Yes, it was a great event supporting the Chelsea Fire Department and 2 scholarships for Beacon High School seniors. I also had a very productive meeting along with the supervisor with the Cornell Cooperative Extension's No Child Left Inside program, which helps young people get outdoors, connect with nature, and build valuable job trainings and life skills. We had the opportunity to tour Wappinger's newest park, Cranberry Hills, just north of Ketchum High School, and we came away with a lot of exciting ideas for helping more children in our community to get outside, learn, and grow. It's great to see so many people coming together for our kids, our first responders, and the future of our community. Thank you to everyone who continues to show up, get involved, and make Wappinger a great place to call home.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Councilwoman. And thank you for setting up that meeting
That was-
with Cornell, your alma mater.
Yes.
And that is going to be a great opportunity to partner with our school district, get kids out
Yeah,
into that
and
park.
Cranberry Hills is just so pretty. I got to tour, and actually, I mean, I had a really fun time, so it was really, really an amazing time, so thank you for that.
Oh, of course. Councilman Beal?
Well, Best Medicine's a hit.
Yes, it
Yes.
They are filming season 2 right now, which episode 1 actually is September 22nd. So they're all over the place. They were at Randolph School. Base camp was back at Houstonville for some time, and now it's to the point.
Wheeler Hill Road.
They were up on Wheeler Hill. Now it's to the point where people are recognizing the stars of the show. So, of course, that got interesting with security at the firehouse because they were doing wardrobe and makeup and all the prep, catering and you name it. So, of course, it was fun watching random people showing up looking for the stars of the show, but they have security on site, so don't think about it. But they're doing a great job. It's exciting. Now, when you watch the show, it's obviously very well written, and it's great to see all the local aspects of it in the show. So it's really picking up steam, and certainly economically, it's benefiting our town and our sister town of Poughkeepsie Town as they continue the success of this production. So I was in Australia for a couple of weeks, in New Zealand, and I think the town had more events occur while I was gone than
We don't want to say that was done on purpose. It was done on
I'm
purpose.
gonna
I did say we were very busy.
and I was keeping an eye on all the activity. Obviously, as the World Cup came to an end, and you brought Tyler Adams back here to the town.
that's great.
Just an incredible way to come full circle on that.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, I couldn't be there, but I was enjoying my time down under. My family's still there. They'll be back this week, so I've had the last 2.5 weeks to attempt to get the honey-do list done, which I've gotten about one thing done. It's been challenging, but they will be back. I just want to express a concern to the town clerk. When I made my announcement that I'm not running for office, you weren't supposed to throw my nameplate out. It's supposed to wait till the end of the year. I was hoping to take it home. Actually, you left it at Mizzier Homestead. I have it. It's in my other vehicle, so.
Oh, really?
I do have it, so. The costume that we all wore, I've gotten more feedback on that. I'm pretty sure Mike Miner ran that board meeting more than the normal rotation on the channel, because a lot of people have commented about that, and thankfully we don't have to wear those again anytime soon. But I did, just for for my own edification, I did dig up the photos of me dressed as Abraham Lincoln and Paoloni dressed as FDR from 2015 or
No, that was, I think,
2012 or something like that?
It was 2006.
Or maybe, I don't know, it's all blur, but.
Because Joe Ruggiero was,
Oh, right,
Yeah.
right. 07.
07,
okay.
it was 07.
07, all right, so,
07.
yes, so that was the last time I wore a costume here on that stage at Schlott House. But the reason why I bring it up is because I'm looking at the stage of Schlott House,
Yeah.
you know, the old stage, and then you compare it to the new stage, which is just pretty incredible. With your pop-up event with Tyler Adams, that reminded me that we do need to do a pop-up event
Yes.
before the end of the summer. We have an extra week of summer this year because Labor Days is at the latest possible day on September 7th. So I still want us to, we got to make sure that the weather's perfect. We want to do a pop-up event at the stage, on the dance floor, bring everybody to party and dance, and to be announced. We'll get that set up. Stay tuned for that. That said, Town of Wappinger 10th Annual First Responder Awards will occur on Sunday, September 13th. Of course, that occurs traditionally on the Sunday after 9/11. So Sunday, September 13th, 6 p.m., the Town of Wappinger 10th Annual First Responder Awards. Of course, there was a year we couldn't do it because of COVID, so that's been going on for 11 years. And of course, that's in the wake of the 25th anniversary of September 11th, which we will continue our tradition of doing our service in real time, 8:30 a.m. At the Palmatier Park. I do have some additional pomp and circumstance for this one, since it's the 25th anniversary of 9/11, which for those of you that are old enough, right? I mean, 25 years is just mind-blowing that it's been 25 years. But again, this town is fortunate to have multiple services that cater to all residents and visitors. With the morning one, obviously, most of the time it's on a weekday. Most folks can't be there on a weekday. The evening one at New Hackensack is occurring, I believe, at 6 p.m. The Village of Wappingers Falls will likely have one as well.
Yeah, at 5.
At 5. But what I would say is, if you have an option, it's a Friday this year, if you have an option to alter your schedule to be at the 25th anniversary in real time at 8:30 a.m., this would be the year to do it. So again, it's going to be here before we know it, and we will pause all deliberations on that day and reflect and remember the significance of that day. A couple items very quickly. Car carrier loading, and we've talked about this. This makes me very nervous. I don't know if there's anything we can do about it. There's a lot of cars being sold right now, clearly, because there's car carriers right on that shoulder every single day unloading vehicles. And it's good that there's a lot of cars being sold, but I can tell you that that is very dangerous, offloading those vehicles right on the fog line. I did have a call years ago where the guy was on top of the car carrier and fell into the lane of travel. Luckily, he didn't get run over, but he was seriously injured. I mean, there's nowhere else to fall, right, if you're going to fall. So we got to look at that. I don't know if there's an easy answer. There should be provisions on these site plans.
There are, and actually, the planning board won't adopt something until they show that the car carrier can make its way through the parking lot. So we know that they can fit. I think that we just need to enforce it now.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll follow
I don't
up.
know how we can even enforce it if you know, let's just be real. There's a lot of cars that are on these lots, and then there's a lot more cars being loaded into these lots. I don't even know how much space there is to accommodate that. But we should talk offline about that, because it's really a concern. Also, Knox boxes are on many of our commercial establishments. They are there for the purposes of allowing the fire department access to the building after hours, so that we don't have to break a door down. We had an issue here in the town where the Knox box was taken off for a construction project and it wasn't put back on. That's a problem when you have a plaza with multiple occupancies and the fire department shows up there and now the keys to the entire plaza are missing.
Yep.
And then you have to gain entry into a occupancy which could do damage to a door after they've already agreed to put the key in the box, right? So that happened recently. I'm not going to name specifically where. I think it was an oversight, but the point is, I think we need to explore a Knox box law, which requires, prior to a CO being issued, that a Knox box be in place on the building. There are municipalities that have this requirement. I'm just looking at the Village Pancake Factory, which is a brand-new establishment. The Knox box is on order, but, you know, these things could have been done ahead of time.
Yeah.
We don't want to have to break a door down on especially a brand-new establishment, because we have to get inside if there is a fire alarm activation, especially, and you may not know this, but you know, Lawrence Farms has residential occupancies on the second floor. People, this is all grandfathered in from back in the day. There's people living on the second floor. Those are not fake facades. So when there's a report of you know, smoke detector activation on the first floor in a commercial establishment, there's no option. You have to gain entry and make sure, because there's people living up there. And there's other commercial establishments in this town that have residential occupancies attached to them that you may not realize. So that said, I will take a look at some model legislation that's consistent with the New York State Fire Code, so we can make that a smoother process in the town. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. All right. I do believe that there is a need to go into executive session, correct, Council?
Yeah, we'll be quick.
Okay, so a brief executive session. We will return in public session. So do I have a motion to enter into executive
I'll make a
session?
motion to enter executive session.
Moved by Councilman Casella, second
for
by,
what purpose?
by Councilman Phillips for the purposes of discussing ongoing litigation and potential settlement of litigation against the town. Thank you very much. We will return.
Aye.